Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into an ancient text that gives us a startlingly modern and deeply unsettling look at the one thing we think we know best, our own bodies.
So, let me ask you, how well do you really know your body? We're about to explore a Buddhist text that basically throws a wrench into everything we assume on that question, and it presents a vision that's as weirdly specific as it is spiritually profound.
So this all comes from the Maharatnakuta Sutra, the Great Treasure Heap Sutra. And it kicks things off not with some lofty abstract philosophy, but with the raw, messy, physical reality of just being alive, starting right from the second we're born. Yeah, according to this text, life's suffering isn't something that happens later. It starts immediately, and it's intense. It compares a newborn's skin to a flayed cow being eaten by insects. That's a brutal image, right? And that's exactly the point. To make us face just how fragile we are from day one.
Now, this language is obviously designed to be pretty shocking. It's not a knock on mothers or anything like that. It's actually a philosophical tool meant to completely strip away our romantic ideas. It forces you to see the body for what it is, a biological machine, kept running by other biological stuff. And this really sets the stage for what comes next.
Okay, so if you thought that was intense, this is where the text goes from the outside world and zooms way in to the hidden internal world of the body. And this is where it gets unbelievably specific, suggesting that, we are not alone in our own skin.
Get this. The sutra states that only 7 days after we're born, our body becomes host to 80,000 different kinds of what it calls household insects, which is basically their term for parasites. And this isn't just a metaphor. It's presented as a biological fact to make a much deeper spiritual point.
And from here, it just starts listing them out. It's this relentless catalog. But you have to remember, this isn't an ancient biology lesson. It's a meditation, a tool to systematically take apart our attachment to our body, starting right at the top with the very hair we spend so much time on.
Then the list goes deeper, into the head itself, the very place we think of as me. Every one of these named parasites is there to hammer home this one fundamental idea. Our body is in a constant state of being consumed from the inside out.
You'd think our bones, the most solid parts of us, would be safe, right? Nope. There's a parasite for that, too. One that pierces the heart, living in and eating our bones. The message is clear. Nothing is permanent, and nothing is truly just ours.
Even our strength, the thing that makes us feel capable, symbolized by our tendons, is supposedly inhabited and eaten by the valiant. The sutra is creating this absolutely overwhelming picture to force you to realize that we are just temporary homes for this chaotic, invisible ecosystem.
And this one really illustrates the core idea. The very organs of creation are themselves being consumed. The body that we cherish and clean and take care of is, from this viewpoint, just a battleground of constant decay. It's all designed to help us let go of our physical vanity.
Okay, so we've been looking at the micro level, right? These tiny parasites. Now, the sutra pulls the camera way, way back to look at the macro level, our entire lifespan. And it argues that all that internal decay we just talked about, it's mirrored by this inevitable decline on the outside.
So the text maps out our life in these 10 stages. But look at them. It's not a story of progress and triumph. It's presented as this unstoppable march that starts in helplessness and ends in decay. Even the stages we call our prime are really just stops along the way to getting old.
And as if just getting older wasn't enough, the sutra then layers on this catalog of 404 distinct types of diseases, all arising from internal imbalances. It describes the body not as this source of joy, but as an arrow wound of diseases, something that's always in some state of pain or affliction.
But here's the crucial pivot. All this physical stuff, the decay, the sickness, the parasites, that's only one part of the problem. The other part, and maybe the more powerful part, doesn't come from our bodies at all. It comes from our minds. The text uses this incredible metaphor, a blazing fire inside of us. And this fire isn't coming from anywhere else. We're the ones fueling it, with our greed, our anger, our attachments, and just our basic misunderstanding of how things work. We're constantly being burned by our own minds.
So this all leads up to this really powerful moment. The Buddha turns to his disciple, Nanda, and asks him this killer question. He basically says, look, if your body, your feelings, your thoughts, if all of it is temporary and causes suffering, can any of that really be you?
And Nanda's response, this emphatic no, world-honored one, that's the entire turning point of the teaching. It's that moment of realization, that light bulb going off, that a real identity can't be tied to any of these fleeting, painful things we normally call me.
So after hearing all of this, a body teeming with parasites, destined to get old and sick, and a mind that's on fire, you might think the picture is pretty bleak. But the text doesn't just leave us there in despair. It actually offers a very clear, very practical way forward.
And the solution isn't to run away from the body or to pretend this stuff isn't happening. It's the exact opposite. It's to look, to observe everything, the body, the feelings, the mind, with this steady, non-judgmental attention. Because it's only through seeing things clearly, through this kind of mindfulness, that we can start to understand reality as it actually is.
And this is the core instruction, really the heart of the whole thing. Stop looking for stability and things outside yourself, because they all change. Instead, you have to become your own refuge, your own island. Find that stability in your own awareness, and in the truth, the Dharma, that it reveals.
And so the sutra just leaves us with that. It's this profound challenge. After giving this unflinching, brutally honest diagnosis of our suffering, it hands us the prescription. It's not just a problem to be analyzed, it's a call to action. It asks us to become our own solution, to find our own unshakable refuge right in the middle of it all.